personal. It's just that we just didn't know one another that well. And it's amazing how a lot can change in a year, right? So the next person that I want to bring to the stage is somebody that I've had the really distinct pleasure of performing with and playing with and exploring with this great adventure called life. It's fucking lame. Anyways, put your hands together for Miss Jenna. Everything she just said is a lie. Alright, so we can have the first picture up. That's me with my first boyfriend. His name is Gluten. Anyone who knows me knows that against my will I have to break up with this boyfriend named Gluten. I have this thing called celiac disease. Woo! Celiac in the house. That is the real throwback of the night. That is me eating a bread roll. Which I would give anything in my life to eat right now. Next slide. And that is why I never had a boyfriend. Because this is the kind of picture I posted on MySpace.
Oh, too soon.
So, let me give you a little background. So the first crush I ever had, his name was Cody. Right? I was 12, we were in 6th grade. It was like it was easy territory. 6th grade, last year of elementary school in Mission Viejo, California. So he started messaging me on AIM. Who remembers AIM?
Yeah!
Away messages, we would like sit and be like, okay, what is the most clever thing I can type right now? Yeah.
Or lyrics to your favorite song.
Or lyrics to your favorite song. And then you just put like BRB, HW. So Cody messaged me on AIM and I was in love with him. And he started like trying to get it out of me that I liked him. And finally I admitted it. And he said, JK, no one would like you, you're fat. What? So I just wanted to preface this with that. So then the next guy I liked, I was 14. I was in a community theater show called A Christmas with Scrooge.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah. Yes.
And then I was in 8th grade and a junior in high school comes up to me at auditions. Right? And he goes, I haven't seen you here before. It was like a bar, but like for high school.
That's community theater in a nutshell. Good night.
I'm like, my mom is like in the corner hiding because she drove me there because I was 14. And I'm like, yeah, I've never been here before. It's fine. He's like, so what's your name? I'm like, Jenna. And he's like, so what's your sign? I had a necklace with a Scorpio sign. And I'm like, Scorpio? He goes, I'm Scorpio. And I'm like, oh, really? Cool. I'm Jake. I'm Jenna. Nice to meet you. I'll see you later. My mom is like in the top corner of the theater, and I turn to her and go, she remembers this very distinctly. So 2 years pass, okay? They do the show every year. Now I'm 16.
Yeah. Yeah, sweet 16, body roll.
He's 19.
Ooh.
This is dangerous territory.
I had a crush on him for 2 years. This is how I discovered Taylor Swift.
Too real.
Like on iTunes,
Too
I'm
real.
like, how do I feed my eggs? Teardrops on my guitar. That's how. Still a fan. So I do the show again. 2 years later, he asks me out. Still never been on a date. Never been kissed. 16, never been kissed. So Jenna, who wrote fan fiction at the time, decided to write, I would call it a diary entry, but it's not. I wrote a narrative of my first date. And I'm going to read it to you tonight. And I wore these boots and this sweater.
Yeah.
Yes.
Christian flare jeans with like the flat pockets. So I'm gonna like give you a visual real quick. Fill the silence, please. All right. So I don't know what I was trying to achieve with this narrative. Maybe subconsciously I knew I'd read it for a crowd of people. But really, I don't know, and I don't know how I found it, but here we go. Something about that room seemed different. It was my room, yes, but something new was staring back at me in the mirror. It wasn't just Jenna Pryor, the girl who faded into the background like designs on wallpaper. This was Jenna Pryor, the girl who was about to go on a date with her crush of 2 years, Jake Zellinger.
Yes.
Who had texted me tonight and said, "May the odds be ever in your favor." We still talk. "Where is he?" she groaned. "Now we're in third person." And flicked her phone open and closed again, hoping to see the little blue light that indicated a new text message. I had a sidekick. Did anyone else have a sidekick? I had a sidekick, the little blue light that meant you had friends. "I'm on the way." She read it over and over again. Jenna walked to the front of the upstairs floor to look out of her sister's window. She couldn't see any cars coming. Then it was there, the black Mustang. Slide change. The black Mustang! Guys, I'm gonna go off the record for a second. I lost my virginity in that Mustang. Front seat, y'all. Wink. That black Mustang! He drove her around it a few times now. "He's here!" Jenna yelled to her dad and stepmother, who were downstairs waiting to meet their daughter's Prince Charming. There was a knock on the door. So Jenna fluffed her hair and took a deep breath. Hearts beating and hands shaking, Jenna opened the door. There he was, standing there in a red band t-shirt, jeans, his hair peeking out of a backwards hat.
The keeper.
It was beautiful, y'all. On his face were his black, thick-rimmed glasses that framed his emerald green eyes. A soft smile formed on his lips. It was a smile that Jenna had memorized by now. "Hey." His voice weakened her knees. "Hi," she responded meekly. "My dad wants to meet you." Jake stepped into the house as Jenna danced to the side. Her father introduced himself, and Jenna watched the scene, feeling like the two worlds were colliding, her dreams and her reality. I really wrote this, guys. Never had she thought that Jake Zellinger would be here, taking her out, meeting her dad. Of course, Jake was charming as ever, aiding to the fact that he was 3 years senior to Jenna's age of 16. Okay, I like older guys, we all know this.
Too real.